a nigga that like not gain weight, the nigga that lost weight, lifted weights or some shit doing with some weight.
So he big as hell, man.
Man, they said nigga got muscles and shit, man. So he ain't bullshit this time.
I like red bones, my type, light skin, next leg, hello.
GFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic. GFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic. GFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic. GFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic.
That's good, fantastic.
I like red bones, my type, light skin, next leg, hello.
GFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic. GFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic. GFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic. GFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic.
That's good, fantastic.
Yo, what up? What up? What up? Like and share, like and share, like and share, so we get this thing out everywhere. There's anywhere in the world you could be, but you're supposed to be right here with me, the BABGOG, man. And I appreciate y'all, bro. You wilding right here, bro. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Your sister, your cousin, your whatever, bro. You ain't telling me. You said the dude got 3 shirts, man. I think you're just trying to clown on making right now, brother. I don't know what's going on here. All right, brother. I don't know, man. I think you're just trolling the good old Mac. But shout out, man. Hey, man. Tinfoil Tuesday, baby. We here. Man, a lot of stuff been going on, man. And I was very surprised that people didn't pick up on this earlier. Everybody kept talking about this damn sub. And I'm just like, bruh, you mean to tell me actual billionaires, right? This is an actual billionaire, allegedly, right? An actual damn billionaire, a person that can afford to build their own sub from scratch. Okay, build their own sub from scratch, horribly, all right, terribly. All right, you have access to the most, the greatest engineers and and just everything, right? Top notch. And you mean to tell me you put this shit together like this? I was like, bro, come on, dog. All right. And this is gonna be Twitter based. Everybody kept talking about this damn sub shit. And I'm just like, bro, come on. And after I said it, I saw everybody else start saying it. Oh man, it ain't dead. Oh man, it's a hoax. Oh man, it's a what's name? And again, it's allegedly. Okay. So let's just look at this, right? Okay. So y'all really think a billionaire for the rich people that could afford $250K for a trip will hop in a homemade submarine to go to the bottom of the ocean? I usually keep my conspiracy shit to myself on Twitter, but this is bloody obvious, man. These mofos fake their deaths, man, and they got new identities, bro. And this happened.
Giveaway. Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway. Charles.
Shout out to buddy. I don't remember what his name is, but dead giveaway, man. What happened to him, man? I remember one of the craziest things that ever happened was like they offered Buddy. I guess he could have got the because he found the girl technically, and the reward money he like turned it down, man. And it's just like, bro, what the hell? Like, bro, what's wrong with you? But yeah, man. So let's pull it up. And allegedly they got a whole backstory set up right because they'll tell about all these people that tried to talk them out of it, that hey, it was unsafe and it was this and all these different things. Perfect thing, man. Perfect thing to do when you need a backstory for a story that's just crazy as this. Because it's like, bro, get out of my face with this, bro, telling me that this damn dude somehow, you know what I mean, paid for his own death, okay? Built and paid for his own tomb and other things. And then just furthermore, just looking at it, like, bro, they didn't have any type of real true navigation system. You had a little bitty fucking hole to look out of to be able to see everything, which makes no sense. Everybody knows that's not how a fucking sub works, bro. If you have a sub, bro, a true submarine, you're gonna have to have actual like acoustics fucking shit, like reverberating acoustics reader, let you know if and when you're getting close to something. A very, very complex fucking oxygen producing and recycling system. Bro, they didn't even have a bathroom in the motherfucker. So what y'all doing? Okay. Like you don't even have a proper pressurized and depressurization, all these different things. It's just like, bro, somebody fart in there, bro, and everybody's just gonna pass out from fucking methane gas overexposure. So I was just like, when they showed this thing, and the fact of the matter that it even was a big deal, right? They got so much publicity, the process, and then them going into the ocean and then disappearing. And then, of course, they found the remains of the sub, but no human remains whatsoever. Okay. No human remains whatsoever, bro. Come on. Jay Bloom has revealed that he and his son were offered 2 seats in the Doom Titan Submersible by Stockton Rush. And this is the alleged text messages between them. Okay. Jay Bloom shared screenshots of conversation with Stockton Rush, who believes was very confident that the trip was not so risky it could end up in a tragedy. Las Vegas billionaire real estate developer Jay Bloom has revealed that he and his son were offered 2 seats in the Doom Titan Submersible. However, he refused to participate over both scheduling issues and safety concerns. Their seats were taken over by Pakistani businessman Shahzada Dawood and his son Suleiman. Okay. 3 other passengers went off for the ill-fated journey. And yeah, man, listen, bro, stop it. Okay. Do y'all really believe that a billionaire, okay, is gonna fucking again make his own casket to go down to the damn the Titanic, bro? Come on. But bro, he didn't even use a PS5 controller. He used a PS4 controller, man. Okay. But he was using a PS4 controller to control something that held your very life in 4 other people's lives, man. Are you kidding me? You playing with me? Okay. Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, Mr. Beast talking about he was invited. Now all the billionaires and all the rich people and all these people somehow that only could fit 5 damn people, they've been invited. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Yeah, Jonte, nobody can see it though. Nobody can see it, man. Everybody was just, and the jokes came, man. People was making the submersible jokes for days on days on days. But what if I told you, okay? Do you know what sunk the Titanic? Put a 1 in the chat if you think you know what sunk the Titanic. Put a 2 in the chat if you actually know what sunk the Titanic. Put a 1 if you think, put a 2 if you know, and you in the know. Georgia, brother, maybe it's just a Georgia thing that we can see it. Because, bro, this is the easiest finesse I ever seen in my life. All right, part-timer say he really know. Ed say he really know. Cynical say she thinks she know. No, it wasn't no missile, no. KC Moto say he really know. Okay, so we got a couple of mixed ones, okay? Well, no, it wasn't just the iceberg. So the iceberg thing was it, right? But the reasoning behind it and what really happened is right here. Let me help you all out. Here we go. Now, some of the biggest moves that have been made in the history of mankind have been concerning central banks, okay? Central banks and fiat currency, okay? You understand what the gold standard is, right? In which now, all right, they're talking about possibly going back to the gold standard because what? They want to get America out of the way, all right? Fiat currency is just that. It's not real money. It's a promise to pay, all right? We got money somewhere, whatever. We pull it out of the sky, literally, make it, print it, put it out here, and however much money you got, hey, that's what it is. When you had the gold standard, there was a limitation on the amount of money that you actually had. This is why you go back to the Bible. It tells you it speaks against usury. Okay, usury is what we call credit nowadays, because what happens when you get credit or usury is that you have more money out than you that actually exists, and that creates a problem. Okay, or you lend out money and that person doesn't pay back the money. So now what happens? Okay, so shout out to a man, Casey Moto know what's up. See, Casey Moto know what's up. He know, he ain't lying. He ain't lying. Hey, shout out to my man KC, man. Where you at?
You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. You ain't lied.
KC actually know what's up, man. So we finna hear about it right here.
Be removed. And secondly, the law would need to be changed or simply appear to be changed. First, those opposed to a central bank would need to be removed. And secondly, the law would need to be changed or simply appear to be changed. To deal with the troublesome individuals who opposed a central bank, the Jesuits spared no expense. They built a ship of death called the Titanic.
The sinking of the Titanic was the design of the Jesuit order to get rid of the opposition to the creation of a central bank in the United States.
And the men on the Titanic were opposed to a central bank. They had to die. Among those were John Jacob Astor, Isidor Straus, Benjamin Guggenheim, and a host of other millionaires who were opposed to a central bank in America. Therefore, they had to be taken out of the way.
Now, an important part about this, man, my bad, y'all. I'm bullshit, man. I might get up on the mic. I'm sorry. Now, important part about this. Let me turn this down, make sure everything's good. An important part about this is understanding, man. Again, there are people that are good people genuinely at the top. Okay, good people do exist. Now, once you hit the elite status, so on and so forth, and you're in bed with the elites, quote unquote, hey, it's done and over with. Okay, ain't really no coming back, so on and so forth. You know, it's a whole bunch of stuff you got to do to get shit going or whatnot, what have you, right? And hey, it is what it is. You lost cause. You know what I'm saying? You down for the cause and you lost cause. All right. Rockefellers, Rothschilds, all these different things. The problem is in the way that the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and BlackRock and all these things became a thing like they was, is because they got the opposition out of the way. Again, man, just like Denzel said, hey, you need a wolf to find a wolf. Okay, you need a wolf to go after the wolf. Well, you need an elite to go after an elite, a person that has the funds and the money to fight the person with the funds and the money, and they even understand that. Okay, so when you're having this, you know, Ephesians 6:12, you know, evil and wickedness in high places, you have to have somebody on that level to fight back. All right, okay, and that did, and it still does exist to some to this day, not as much and not as many people. But back then, before everything got out of hand, and you know, all this fucking the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and all these other people got on you know, basically on the roll and were the backing of the central banks. There were people that had enough money that would have been able to, and families that would have been able to pool their money together and fight against the people that wanted it. Right. So, well, what's the best way to do? What's the best way to do, man? Shout out to Brandon Green, man, for the building for. I greatly appreciate you, brother. Get them out of the way, man. Hey, I know they wish they heard the music back then, man. But hey, as soon as you want to step on board. What is this melody? I don't. You guys ever? Bone. What is this bone? what is I don't know what this is, but and lo and behold, hey man, Uncle Charles in a time machine. Every day you have to cry. Every day you have to cry. Yeah, man. Went to go see Uncle Charles way back in the day. Shout out to JC the Conqueror. Hey, man, and again, bro, this is why I say I don't completely totally believe and trust in anybody or anything, but people have their moments, and there are people that are kind of with the shits and they're apart. But Trump, I don't know if I can say Trump is controlled opposition or not. I really don't know. I know he's not all the way down with the shits, because he literally said this on national TV. If you remember this, evil forces. He said that on a live TV interview. Put one in the chat, man, if y'all remember that. He actually said that shit, man, on the live interview, and I was just like, damn, he coming like that? For real, for real? But if you go back and you listen to the people that speak on Trump that actually know Trump and stuff, they saying, hey, he's a solid dude, man. Solid guy. So, you know, it's really, really hard to tell, you know, shout out to my man, Brandon Green again, man. Who's Uncle Charles? Who's this Negro? We're allowing Negroes on here? There's supposed to be no Negroes on the Titanic. Peaches, I don't know. Still out. They do say, hey, you can't become president though unless you with the shits. But hey, there are always exceptions to the rule, right? Shout out to William Little Buddy Gill. Come on, man. As survival of the world known non-vaccinated, this could have been prevented if the crew had just coconut shells or bamboo. Yeah, brother, it could have happened, man. Definitely could have happened. Let's get back to it.
And they were on the Titanic.
The company building the ship was owned by J.P. Morgan, who was himself an agent of the Rothschilds family, the Rothschilds being the bankers for the Pope and the Vatican. The main Jesuit targets were brought on board. The captain of the ship was Edward John Smith. It appears from his actions that Captain Smith was a Jesuit coadjutor, that is, a Jesuit who has taken the oath but does not wear the robes. A coadjutor blends into the scenery and never looks like a Jesuit priest. It is a veteran sea captain, Edward Smith, who orders the ship to travel through an 80-square-mile ice field at full speed on a moonless night. There had been over 8 telegrams warning the captain of the danger.
He's warned 8 times, slow the ship down, slow the Titanic down, you're going too fast. Not once stopped.
Now, again, man, stuff like this is, like I said, when you get into the, you know, the conspiracy theory or, you know, the whatever, the psyop situations and stuff, and you really start doing the research on this stuff and you really start hearing this stuff, man, it's crazy. But There are people that do the research for this, bro, and have the evidence and stuff to support it. And you start thinking like, well, damn, that is crazy. Coincidence? Coincidences, you had some of the richest people on the planet that all got on this voyage. And then I think it was it JP Morgan or somebody? They said who it is, but I'm pretty sure it was JP Morgan who was supposed to be on there. And I had something come up, and I think if I remember right, they put his bags on there, but he never got on the fucking thing. Like he really sold it all the way up to the point of where, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go and get in there if something comes up, so he never gets on the boat. And of course, again, man, you know, you gotta knock people off the scent. You know what I'm saying? That misdirection is a motherfucker. And then when you get to the other ones that really get deep into it, it tells you about how the since JP Morgan funded it, even the whole thing about the Titanic being unsinkable was due to the materials that were used. Well, lo and behold, when they went and they did the research and concerning it, it was shown that the materials that were supposed to be used weren't used. You know what I'm saying? It was a lower grade of metal, and the metal work that had been done to it was poor. But even more importantly, even no matter how much it was, like you said, this man's going full speed ahead through a known iceberg field. Okay, a seasoned veteran captain, nautical motherfucking master, and he's like, hey man, full steam ahead. Hey man, hey, we going a little fast for this big ass boat, ain't we? Now shout out to all my sailors out there, man. Now, even when you have a boat, okay, it's mechanical, but being that you have to deal with water and different things and so on and so forth, you really don't want to push that shit to the max and to the limits, because this ain't like no car. You can't pull off to the side and catch, and you know what I'm saying, change no spare, no flat. You break something on a fucking boat, bro, your ass can literally be dead in the water. Okay, that's even up to nuclear carriers. Okay, so pushing the boat, and the captain will constantly come on and remind us about certain things, especially with the and it's different systems. You have the propulsion plants and the propulsion systems. You have the stuff that makes the water. You have backup diesel engines and stuff like that, and so on and so forth. It's a very, very complicated and complex thing. But the most important thing is knowing just how much to give it or don't give it. This man, they telling this man, hey, bro, you're moving way too fast to be going in the direction you're going, knowing that this is this, and you have a map. This is mapped out. Not to mention too, you know, ever so often they do what's the word I'm looking at? Surveys. You have to do surveys of the ocean to make sure of what certain things are and certain things, you know what I'm saying? Whether it be icebergs, whether it be shallow parts and shelves or reefs and all these different things. I'm trying to think of the fucking specific word, I can't think of it. But you know, stuff in the ocean that can fuck your boat up. Okay. You have to fucking, you know what I'm saying? You have to keep aware of that stuff, man. So him ignoring 8 warnings of, hey man, what the hell is going on? Why are you going so fast? With all those people on that boat.
Knew there was an iceberg field up ahead, knew that he should have slowed down, but didn't. And so you look and you say, how was it that this man could go headlong into a field of icebergs and not slow the ship down, not be more careful? The only conclusion you can draw is, as a coadjutor of the Jesuit order, right through the line, the chain of command, he was told, sink the ship. And he did. On board the Titanic, and this is all documented in a National Geographic video that was put out in 1986. You can go to your local library, and they'll either have it on hand or they can, get it on library loan. But on that videotape, it shows that as the Titanic was coming up along the coast of England, it had various stops. And at one stop, a Jesuit priest got on board. His name was Francis Brown. Francis Brown got on board the Titanic, took pictures of all of the wealthy people, took pictures of Edward Smith, the captain, and then just before the Titanic set sail across the Atlantic, Francis Brown got off. And then, of course, the Titanic sunk.
Well, Francis Brown is given a camera by his bishop, by his uncle, the bishop. And he is told to go down and take all these pictures of all these people we're going to kill in first class. And so that's what he does. He takes pictures of all these rich people, everybody that there is going to go down. And a rich passenger offers him passage. Well, he knows the ship's going to go down, but he very sheepishly got in contact with his provincial. And the provincial's message was, get off that ship.
Like Brown, another noted passenger, Jesuit agent J.P. Morgan, did not make the ill-fated sea voyage. Even though booked on the ship for passage to America, Morgan also fortuitously canceled at the last minute.
Of course, J.P. Morgan, he had his own suite reserved for him. And there were some 55 men who at the last minute canceled their reservations on the Titanic. J.P. Morgan was one of them. Said he was sick. Oh, by the way, and don't load any of my art treasures on the Titanic either. So he didn't have any of his art treasures on it either. Didn't lose any of that.
How do we know there was foul play involved?
Juju, keep on. Oh, god damn. Whoa. Wait a minute. Whoa, we got a sponsor in the building. Blow it up, brother. Shout out to my man Roastmaster, man, for the 100 ball on the cash out, brother. I greatly appreciate you, brother. When A1 Day One's in the building, man. Hey, I greatly appreciate y'all, man. Every cent, man, every dollar. But stuff like this, man, you know we got to motherfucking celebrate it, man. We got to celebrate the 100 ball, baby.
Tell me that was no ball. That was no ball. Listen.
Brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, Juju. Keep on now. Keep on.
The more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
All right. Hey, man. And just for that, man, y'all niggas get your lights up anyway, man. We definitely got to do the Murder Man dance for that, man. For the 100 ball, come on, man. Come on.
Murder Man dance. That's the Murder Man dance.
Real more shit, man. That's why more bodies, man.
More bodies. Shout out to my man Roastmaster again, man. But like you said, man, listen, bro, when you start talking about Jesuits and that transfer over to a lot of these 3-letter things, World Economic Forum, World Health Organization, Trilateral Commission, all these different things, all these big councils, man, all that shit, bro, they with the shits, okay? All right? All them shits is with the shits, bro. Those are the people that feel like they're smarter than you and you're not smart enough to make your own decisions, so they make the decisions for you. Okay? Rosemaster, you ain't gonna find nothing over here.
Involved with the Titanic. When the iceberg was sighted, it was First Officer Murdoch who attempted to port around the deadly object. This was sound enough, but Murdoch also ordered the engines into reverse. Author Wynne Wade asked the obvious question. As long as Murdoch was trying to veer out of the iceberg's way, why had he jammed on the brakes, so to speak, by throwing the engines full speed astern? In point of fact, the 1910 edition of Knight's Modern Seamanship clearly contradicted Murdoch's decision. The instructions are clear. Avoid reversing the engines. Wade sums up the situation by saying, Murdoch had maneuvered in a manner more likely to cause collisions than to prevent them. As with many who investigated the Titanic disaster, author Wynne Wade was at a loss to explain Murdoch's actions in going against the book. But the captain and Murdoch's actions were not the only telltale signs of treachery on the night the Titanic sank.
And we see all sorts of anomalies in the Titanic. For example, when it was sinking, the emergency flares were to be red so that ships in those lanes could see the Titanic was in trouble. Well, someone had taken away the red flares and replaced them with white flares, making them.
Again, man, look at little stuff like this, little subtle shit like that, man, that you would never know until you had to use it, right? Subtle shit like that. Something, that seems, unimportant or just no big deal. And then lo and behold, Now, like he said, man, you thinking that, you know, this is the Titanic, the unsinkable ship, the, you know, the Virgin Voyage, you know what I'm saying? If it's supposed to be doing it and everything, right? So of course they're gonna have a celebration. Of course they're gonna have fireworks and all these different things and so on and so forth. Versus the red flares that, you know what I'm saying, announces an emergency out at sea.
Looked like we were shooting off flares and having a party. And then the loading of the boats, we know that was a fraud. They didn't allow the lifeboats to be completely loaded. They were only half loaded, some 1/3 loaded, because the targets in the first class could not be allowed to board. And the Jesuits were not only the captain, but his officers, and there had been a strike in England at the time, and the men who were normally the ones who would man the ocean liners, they were replaced by Jesuit coadjutors ready to board because they were all under oath to die for the Black Pope if necessary. And so they did carry out the sinking of the Titanic.
But how is it possible that men will commit suicide, as Captain Smith and some of his hand-picked crew obviously did?
We have to understand that these men have died to their own self-will. And so they have completely been emptied of their own personalities, and upon the order of their commander will do exactly what they're told. There's no such thing as a disobedient Jesuit. This serves as a warning to all the other men of power, not only in our country, but in England and Europe. You mess with us, and we're going to do to you what we did to all those people in Titanic, and we're going to thwart the investigation, because a subsequent investigation of the sinking of Titanic blamed Bruce Ismay, the right-hand man of J.P. Morgan, and Captain Ward of England. They were the scapegoats, when they could have easily blamed the men of power at that time. Saw who canceled their reservations. It was a Warren Commission all over again, 9/11 Commission all over again. It's a whitewash and cover-up, and that cover-up is even more powerful than the murder itself.
After many of the leading opponents to a central bank had been removed, the Jesuits moved to obtain passage of the 16th Amendment and the Federal Reserve Act, both in 1913.
So they created the Federal Reserve Bank to finance their crusades. Without the Federal Reserve Bank, there's no war in Iraq.
And here we are today. Here we are today, people. Good old Federal Reserve, central banks, interest rates, you know, inflation, stagflation, all these different things. Debt slavery, right? The rat race, as they say. You got to work till you die. Okay? To afford a whole bunch of shit you probably don't need, really can't afford, but credit, right? But credit. So, you're convinced to get out here and impress niggas that you really don't care about you, but you want to look good. You want to drive the newest expensive Escalade, bruh. Do y'all understand? Look, just hold on real quick, right? So once upon a time, like when we were kids, right? The only time you even heard of or saw mention of like a luxury car, like your Bentleys or Rolls Royce, was like the Grey Poupon commercial, nigga. Okay. Pardon me. Do you have any Grey Poupon? Okay. Other than that, man, Bentley and Rolls Royce, that wasn't even a thought in the regular everyday person's mind. Lo and behold, though, all right, rap game. All right, rappers. More money, more problems. That's the first video I can remember of where the big money grip, big baller style or whatever thing with the Notorious B.I.G. And I think they were riding the Bentley in that video, More Money, More Problems. And we started getting this promotion of high luxury items, very, very expensive shit, to where you're aspiring to achieve that, to be able to buy that, right? For the sake of God knows why. I mean, you're already most likely living in impoverished or at best middle class situations, but now you're being told if you don't got the Versace shirt, the Versace glasses, you can't ride in the Bentley, you can't pop Cristal, you a broke ass nigga, right? And then these brands that were never meant to be niggified, all of a sudden take all of the nigga shit and modify it to make to just those people. Bro, do y'all understand? Like, bro, 20-inch rims and above, that's niggas. White folks ain't give a damn about no big ass rims. You know what I'm saying? Unless they doing some shit. Tires, yeah, they do big tires, but big flashy ass rims and shit, bro. It's standard now for a luxury car to have 20s on it, minimum, none less than 20s, right? And now, like you said, you start talking the trucks, you got 22, 24s, right? Just factory rims. They literally took the people that was never meant to be for and took their styling, like what was the damn thing? What was the fucking car, y'all? The poor man's Bentley. Help me out. Shout out to Jacob Rossier, yeah. You said Cynthia McKinney. Why do I know that name? I know that name for some reason. Why do I know that name? Why Cynthia McKinney? I don't know who that is. I'll look into it. Yeah, Chrysler. Oh yeah, Chrysler 300. Yeah. The Chrysler 300, bro. Chrysler 300 was the fucking poor man's Bentley to the point of where, bro, niggas were buying Bentley emblems to put on the fucking Chrysler. Niggas was buying the B in the wings, the nigga, to put on the fucking the grill. They made a grill to put a Bentley grill to put on the fucking it's not Dodge. What is it? Is it Dodge? Is a Dodge Chrysler? Yeah, fucking Dodge Chrysler, bro. A Chrysler 300. Well, no, Dodge is Chrysler. So a Chrysler 300, bro. Niggas had the grill to match and they put the rims on there, you know, 22s, 24s. Yeah. Nigga done turned the motherfucking what, $30,000-$40,000 car into a fucking imitation $300,000 car. And niggas was with it until a Bentley pull up. Shout out to Cat Williams. But that's what the fucking fiat currency gets you, man. You know what I'm saying? And we've seen this now as to where they're using the currency to destroy a lot of these banks and absorb these banks. JP Morgan, speaking of, again, one of the biggest banks left over, and JP Morgan had first dibs on a lot of these Silicon Valley Bank and the other Southern Bank or whatever, these other banks that defaulted. Bro, they got first dibs on those. And they took all the assets and none of the liabilities. Ain't that something? Bro, when they say I think it says 13 families that control the world, man. JP Morgan and Rothschilds, Rockefeller, all these different people, so on and so forth. We go going on this line, bro. That's real shit, dog. That ain't no joke. That's not a conspiracy, bro. Not a conspiracy. Hell, now you can add Bill Gates to it, bro. Bill Gates owns, I think he said is up now to what? Bill Gates owns 60% of the farmland or something like that. Don't quote me on the exact number, but Bill Gates owns the majority of farmland in the United States of America. Let me just speak on it. Man used, like I said, gold. You before that you bartered. What the fuck? You bartered and you traded, and you used currency that was actually backed by something, silver or gold. That's what he used before that. So you will barter a service or service, skill, or things, whatnot, what have you. Like, hey, you got some of this, I need some of that. Or you actually paid for currency that was backed by, you know what I'm saying? We gonna talk about that next week, man. That's a whole lot of shit. We ain't even got to the weather part. But and we go touch on the thing too about RIP to the brother. I think he was in Europe, a European basketball player. He complained about chest pains or whatever, so on and so forth, after he received the right. And buddy just died, man. 28 years old. Died. Tip top shape. Died. All the information that came out about Pfizer and their dealings and they paid was it Anderson Cooper hundreds of thousands of dollars to promote the thing, No, he didn't reach 30. Cynical. Not even 30. He didn't even reach 30. He was 28. Yeah. Yeah, man. This right here coming out. And shout out to the it's crazy, bro. I'm telling you guys, hey man, if you don't have conspiracy friend, find him. I got you covered for now. But you know what I'm saying? In real life, man, start researching this stuff. Don't believe nothing I say. I remember when people was telling us, "Oh man, they put stuff in the you've been taking vaccines all your life, and this one something wrong with this one." Yeah, brother, something's wrong with this one. How the hell do you create or we discover a new disease and there's a cure for it or a vaccine for it in less than 6 months? Nobody question that. There's a reason why you have to have that 10-year period of trials and things, especially when we're talking about introducing new forms of delivery of which comes out to be, watching my speech, but if you know, y'all been following me long enough to understand. Yeah, force a lot of people. Coach Prime, y'all understand? Coach Prime right now he has to have emergency surgery, man. He has multiple blood clots. I think they say it's up in his groin now. Hey, y'all look out for yourself, man. If you took the thing, bro, especially the either one of those Pfizer or Modernas, bro, get your blood work. Go get your blood work, man. Go get checked. Okay? Don't play around with this stuff. Do not play around with it, okay? Don't play around with it. Nah, I didn't see the video that Nick did. Nick Taylor, I didn't see it. The money that was spent behind that man to push this thing, bro, is ridiculous. And I'm telling you, just this alone, when all this is said and done, this period, and people are gonna go back and look at this probably when it's far too late and understand when the shift happened towards the end of all freedoms on the planet. This serves as a test for the will of the people globally. This served as a means to try out methods of restricting and detaining people, be it in their homes or be it publicly. This served a lot of different things, and then too, like you said, not even getting into the actual how do I want to word this? The Tuskegee experiment like effects or approach to I'll say that. And don't get it, man. Don't fall for the bullshit. Told y'all, bro. They was making people, and one of the best things I ever did, bro, was I sacrificed a couple of months of freedom for a couple of months and a few days of fucking freedom of getting off the fucking boat, bro. Probably for years on my life. People in the military, man, get checked. Okay, they're not, and I'm not. You go look up the numbers of the increase of heart issues and the mortality rate. A lot of things militarily, man. Look it up. It's out there. That's all I'm gonna say. Because if I get into it, they're gonna start trying to play around with certain things and so on and so forth. So that's why I'm being vague, because they've lightened up on certain things, but it's not clear to what they have lightened up on. So I'm still gonna speak to, but talk around a lot of things and not be direct, right? The American public was experimented on, point blank, period, illegally. And people need to be held accountable. You had to find a new hustle after you got rid of the opioid crisis, right? After, Pfizer and what was the name of the other company, y'all, was forced to pay the largest payout in history for knowingly administering opioids, knowing the addictiveness and the deadliness of using that as a basis for pain meds, right? And we're supposed to turn around and trust these people right after. Yeah, still don't know what's up with Jamie Foxx, man. Still don't know. Yeah, we were told, listen, they were told that, oh, that's a myth, that's a this, that's a that. You got 100. Hey, we got 109 people in here, man. Please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Okay. Well, that was only a part of it, brother. Get your get checked, brother. Make sure you get your blood work, man, just to make sure you don't have any because there's a thing they can do screening it to see if you have I want to say lipids, but it's whatever it is that's going to detect blood clots. For some reason, I want to say lipids. I want to say that, but it is a screening you can do specifically for blood clots. If you took either the Pfizer or Moderna thing, please, 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 man, y'all get the screening done. Okay, get the screening done. Okay. Yeah, somebody came out and said something about that, and then they say he was a lie. The family said it was a lie. Okay, but I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. Yeah, a lot. Hey, some of these people mysteriously got overthrown and went to go see Uncle Charles. Yep. Johnson & Johnson was different. Johnson & Johnson wasn't it wasn't a replicating thing, and it didn't use mRNA. Okay. So Johnson & Johnson, the reason why they shot Johnson & Johnson, the blood clot things that it was causing, if you look at it, and we're seeing now, Moderna and Pfizer had the same, if not greater things. The problem was Johnson & Johnson created something that didn't have the mRNA in it. That's why they attacked that first. They want the mRNA shit is very, very important, man, to the point now where they're telling you they're trying to get to, not even trying, they have it to the point of where they're introducing it into the food. Okay. We tried to tell y'all, man, this mRNA is going to play a huge, huge factor once we start talking about tracking and the integration of the technology to you being, what I'm saying, them being able to keep up with any and everything you're doing at the very second. We got Spiritual Logic in the building, man. Shout out, brother. Yep, nothing but. Shout out to my man, 2 Feet Lawal. Appreciate you, brother. I think the whole goal is to weaken the immune system and therefore depopulate like the wildfires and the air quality of New York. That's a part of it. That's a part of it, brother. Yeah, listen, the state of everything that's going up against human beings, man, the depopulation agenda is real. Again, if you look at the stuff they're putting in the food, and now you have engineered food and all these different things, everything is about to be GMO, man. Unless you're really gonna need to learn to hunt and or grow your own food, seriously, because this new thing to where they're and I don't think it's passed yet, but they're going to pass the law to where they make it legal for it just to be regular thing for lab grown meat to be sold. Well, damn, what the fuck is that? And then if they are able to grow lab meat, well, we know what they derived. That actually growing the meat derived from what? What did the growing the meat derive from, y'all? It was approved all the way. I don't think it was all the way. I think it was proposed, but I don't think they passed it through Congress and Senate yet. I don't think. Yeah, man. Again, I'm telling you, everything starts here. America is the epitome and the example for capitalism. Like crony capitalism, like like gutter, like there is nothing more important than the dollar, man. However I gotta make this money, I'm gonna make it. Exactly. Shout out to Cynical. That's what it is. Corlock. Shout out to Will. Exactly. Y'all remember that shit, right? See, man, see how this stuff and people don't understand, dog, how, again, bro, these people Bruh, they done thought 100 years down the line, man. You start talking about like this JP Morgan chasing shit and all this shit, bro. Bruh, they been thought about this shit. Klaus Schwab and them, bro, they have a plan. They already they are following plans that have been set from people before them that pass it down to them. They have timelines and deadlines to meet and certain shit. And in my opinion, man, America's around too long, okay, for what they need to happen because you have to, it's a mindset. You have to kill the will of the people to fight back. America is the precipice of that. I ain't going. No. America's built off of that. And that's the scary part that people don't understand. No matter what you want to say about it, so on and so forth, America is built off of the like, nah, man, I'm cool on that. I don't want to do that. I'm gonna go do my own shit. You're not treating me right. I'm gonna do my own shit. And a big part of this stuff, man, is to bring America back into under that English rule. America's like that, bro. Shit wasn't supposed to happen like that. Buck against like, you know, the royal families and the, you know, the powers of the fucking world and create your own shit and it actually work? Oh hell no. Yeah, people don't understand that, man. Shout out to my man on Spiritual Life. Oh well, approved. There you go. USD approved lab grown chickens. People going through with it, man. But let's get into this weather, man. Let's get into this weather. Where is it? I'm gonna speak real quick on something else, a little quick too. Give me a second. Hold on. What the fuck? Hold on. Why do I always do that? Here you go. Now this is another big one. Shout out to man Doug in the building, man. Tinfoil tip, working on indoor gardening right now. Salute, fantastic in chat. Hey man, yeah, and hey man, telling you, bro. You're gonna have to get with it, man. If you don't want to be constantly sick, you don't want to be malnourished because, bro, none of these food have nutrients in it. That's another big thing people don't understand and realize too, bro. Like I said, bro, I'm telling you, bro. We went to what was the first time I can get off? Was it France? I think it was France. It was France first. Yeah, France. No, it was Italy. Was it Italy or France? Either or, one or two, whichever one we went to. I got off, and you know, doing a healthy thing. I'm drinking water every fucking day. I'm not drinking no sodas or so on and so forth or whatnot. But I got the boat, so hey, I'm gonna have me a little, you know, treat myself or whatever. I earned it. And bro, even the sodas over there, bro. The sodas, no high fructose corn syrup, and I could taste like the crispness and like it was sweet, but it wasn't too sweet. It wasn't heavy. And bro, I literally drunk. I was drinking this shit like water, bro. And it's like I couldn't even, like, you know, if you drink a lot of soda or whatever, bro, you get bloated. You get, you know what I'm saying? It's just like way gassy or whatever. And it's not the carbonation as much as like the sugar or something. It's just heavy. Totally different, right? Bro, you can't use high fructose corn syrup over there like you can here. You can't use all the additives and the extra shit over there like you use here. I told y'all about the LMA. I don't know if you guys remember the LMA, the singer. She was saying how the bread over here is extremely sweet. It's like sugary, like, and that's what's crazy. So like, you guys saw I went live when we were in Italy, and like for us eating over there, it's like, man, this food's bland as shit. super duper bland because they don't put a lot of fat in it. They don't put a lot of salt in it, so on and so forth. The freshness is really like, you know, the dish, right? So if you used to, especially me, shout out to Georgia, you know what I'm saying, use motherfucking neck bones and collard greens, bacon and fucking everything, motherfucking put some of that fat back in there. You ain't got no fat back. Who made the greens? These greens ain't got no fat back in them. Hell yeah. Hell, are you kidding me? Fuck yeah. Bro. Shout out to spiritual. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. And spiritual brother, I know you if you got time, man, I'll drop it so you can bring up come up in here. Hold on. Where's my joint? Who made the damn greens? Ain't no fat back in these greens. Here we go. Let's see what we got. Let me share this and then I'll share Hulk's thing. Shit. If it'll come up. Yeah, man, food over there is totally different. And people will tell you that when they come over here. Even like McDonald's and stuff is different, man. I'm telling you, everything is just totally different because they have laws as to where they can't do the same stuff over here that over there that we can do over here. They literally want you to be fat. I told you guys, a part of the Wiley theory. I'm telling you, man. Listen, bro, they want you fat. They want you lazy. They want you sitting around on everything. They want you fucking like, you know, DoorDash, Uber Eats, all these different things. You know, the VR headsets and shit, the video games, your phone, your tablet, bro. You sitting down 90% of the time at your job, bro. They want you as sedentary as possible. Okay, they want you to be extremely comfortable with being lazy. That's how you win the war long term. But you know how many of these kids out here now, man, can't even like, bro. I was literally out somewhere, bro, and even the little kids, bro. You know how we was like, bro, I was looking like a motherfucking Somalian as a kid, man. Summertime, dark and skinny as hell. Skinny, bony, wide. Bicycles, running, football, basketball, playing hard. 14 hours a day. Don't you come back in here. You come back in here, you're staying in. So, hey, till that motherfucking street light came out, hey, baby, we made it work. We made it work. 14-hour days, baby. 7 days a week if you can. These kids don't want to go outside nowadays, man. You know what I'm saying? That's another big part too of the crime, bro. People aren't comfortable to let your kids go outside and play because, you know, in a lot of these neighborhoods and things, and these kids don't even play, bro. Like they outside, hell, they into criminality. You know what I'm saying? And the people that aren't, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, Roscoe, fast food and bread. It's not just a fast food, even the stuff you buy, man. I'm telling you, it's so many preservatives and it's so many fucking it's so much shit in this food extra, man. It's crazy. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. But let's read this and then I'm gonna pull up Hulk's link. Appreciate your Hulk, man, for giving this, man. So again, breaking U.S. military admits to altering the weather according to documents. The documents are not provided, so this tweet presenting an unverified claim as fact. Oh, there's some what's the name shit. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Okay. Oh, that's some fact checking shit. Come on, brother. We got it right here. So get them out of here. Stop the cap. Stoppeth the capeth, brother. Now they've talked about this lightly years ago, and I think it's called cloud seeding. I think that's what it is, where they add like it's either sodium, it's like salt or something they add to the clouds and they could make it rain. Okay. And this isn't just a military thing. This was stuff they would use definitely over in the Middle Eastern areas and stuff like that, so on and so forth, where there's very little rain in order to, you know, actually get rain to make the crops they needed for what they needed. Okay. But lo and behold, we look at this. Let me see. Bring it up. I'm gonna have to enlarge this. Shout out to Nobody. Nobody. Greatly appreciate you, Nobody, for the 10. Appreciate you, brother. Large. Here we go. Defense Technical Information Center. Weather as a force multiplier on the weather in 2025 research report. Air War Collateral Maxwell Air Force Base, Alabama, I think. Abstract in 2025, U.S. aerospace forces can own the weather by capitalizing on emerging technologies and focusing development of those technologies to warfighting applications. Such capability offers the warfighter tools to shape the battle space in ways never before possible. It provides opportunities to impact operations across the full spectrum of conflict and is pertinent to all possible futures. The purpose of this paper is outline a strategy to use the future of weather modification system to achieve military objectives rather than to provide a detailed technical roadmap. A high-risk, high-reward endeavor, weather modification offers a dilemma not unlike the splitting of the atom. While some segments of society will always be reluctant to examine controversial issues such as weather modification, the tremendous military capabilities that could result from the field are ignored at our own peril. From enhancing friendly operations or disrupting those of the enemy via small-scale tailoring of natural weather patterns to complete dominance of global communications and counter space control. Weather modification offers the warfighter a wide range of possible options to defeat or coerce an adversary. Some of the potential capabilities of weather modification system could provide to a warfighting commander and a chief CINT are listed in Table 1. Technology advancements in 5 major areas are necessary for an integrated weather modification capability. 1, advanced nonlinear modeling techniques. 2, computational capability. 3, information gathering and transmission. 4, a global sensor array. And 5, weather intervention techniques. Some intervention tools exist today and others may be developed and refined in the future. Shout out to man, Spiritual Logic, for this, man. Again, bro, if you can control the weather, you can definitely win the war. Any battle, any war. And you know, they were talking about this. This has been another quote unquote conspiracy theory. It's been talked about for quite some time. And when it comes to not just rain or whatever, but we know we're talking about major and destructive, you know what I'm saying, weather or storm cells. Okay. If you do that, man, like we're getting to the point now of where we're on some, you know, almost superhero type shit and superpower shit, right? Because why? Well, if you're able to quote unquote create a tornado or a hurricane, what does that do for the battlefield in your favor? If you're able to direct and pinpoint something is destructive as a tornado or a hurricane, you know that there is no fighting that. You can't fight nature. Again, it was released and I told you guys there was a mishap that happened on the boat just from a storm cell while we were out at sea. And it's a lot of shit was towed up. Okay. Shit was towed up, bro. Yeah. Shout out to JJ Logan. Chemtrails. People been talking about this stuff. Ain't no chemtrails. Oh man, you just making that up, man. Yeah, and Rico, that's what we're trying to tell you. So that's going to be the same thing. We start talking about these robots and these things. Listen, people want control, man. Might is right is the way of the human way. Might is right is the human way, bro. A person automatically says, "Hey, this is something that's impressive. It's you know, it's groundbreaking. How do we use it to control people? How do we use it to gain power? How do we use it to have the advantage over everybody else?" That's the human way, bro. Okay. I don't know why a lot of people don't understand that. Like, you know, there is no, for the most part, goodness in people. You want to be in the best possible position, even if it's at the you know what I'm saying, even at the detriment or the cost to the next person. All right. That's how countries work. That's why I say when people start arguing, "Oh, the war is bad and the military and this and that," listen, man, if we weren't in control, someone can be in control of us. Would you want it that way? Of course you wouldn't. So you complain about something that you really don't want, you know what I'm saying, in the big scheme of things. Shout out to Little Rock, man. They're secure for C, man. Yeah, Prince warned about a lot of this shit, man. Prince and can't get enough of your love, babe. Barry White warned about this in the, I think it was the 70s, if not the 80s. Barry White was warning about the technological takeover, and then Prince did the same thing, bro. And people really don't, it's crazy how easy it is to say that you're crazy, right? You got to think, even at that level, man, they're privy to information, they're privy to technology, they're privy to plans that regular everyday people would never ever know about years and years in advance. Bro, they've been developing supercomputers since like the fucking 60s. You know what I'm saying? The supercomputing thing is just, just advances as more technology is available to us, right? It's always been a thing, you know what I'm saying, in modern science and in modern technology. But the thing is, how and how fast can we improve upon it? Now it's to the point of where they went too far, and you may have lost control of it because now the machine is living. You know what I'm saying? Or the program is living, is learning itself. So that's another thing too. The whole AI thing developing, and you have all the shit. Everybody talking about this fucking everybody talking about the damn submarine thing, bro, and so much stuff that's occurred and that's happened in this very, very short time, bro. In a week, like it was like at least what they said like the 26th or whatever. Bro, he's literally talking about that for however many days every day. That was trending on Twitter. Niggas, even black Twitter, like niggas cared about billionaires being in a submarine and disappearing. Like for real. In the meantime, between time, shout out to Hulk. Like I said, they passed this damn the clone meat, or not clone, I'm gonna call it clone, but the lab grown meat was passed in the same time as where this was happening. So we know about psyops and distractions. If it's distracting you from this, and this is what happens on a major level, well, what does that mean about the lab grown meat? You think it's going to be beneficial or good in any way, shape, form, or fashion? Of course, they're going to promote it. Well, we're going to be able to make it cheaper. We're going to be able to do this and do that. Well, what are we growing this meat from? We're going to ask that question. Are we going to ask the question as to what sells and or what, you know what I'm saying, is the basis and the start of this meat that's being grown? Shout out to Saucy Balls, man. Marvin Gaye and the Isley Brothers as well. Okay, I wasn't aware of them, but I distinctly remember Barry White and of course Prince. Yeah, Jay-Z, man. Again, man, you got to be careful. But I'm telling you, if y'all not know, man, Jay Dyer is a huge one. The dude, it's another dude that's on here, man. I have to find him, but that dude, bro, he goes super deep and he gets really, really into it. I think they got rid of him altogether, man. I had his shit saved, and I can't find it. I'm gonna try to find it, but of course they killed Chronicles of Judah. They killed his shit instantly. If you come out to be a conspiracy person, man, so on and so forth, you start putting out too much truth and too much information, bro, they get you up out of here. Get your ass up out of here, man. Told you, bro. Y'all, when I got back, bro, they was hitting me left and right. Bro, I almost lost my channel. Almost lost the channel, y'all. That's why I had to slow down on it. That's why I had to really, really slow down on the Tinfoil Tuesdays. Bro, they literally they went back and hit me for gave me a strike for something that was like old. I want to say 6 months to maybe a year old. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? I had this up here for how long? And you guys, you know what I'm saying? And they go through and they look and they literally, so basically what I had to do was delete, and I had to remove Tinfoil Tuesdays from a lot of the shit, because if I didn't do it, they picked up on it, and probably a bot or AI or whatever just automatically knew, oh, okay, this nigga gonna be talking about shit on Tinfoil Tuesday, so let's just target that and look at it. And if he say anything about get him up out of here. Shout out to Rico. And again, that's what I'm saying. So think now. Listen. So Not saying it is happening, but eventually, right? If it's lab grown, that means that it's manufactured in a lab. And what else is made in a lab? Help me out in the chat. What else is made in a lab? What else is made in a lab? You see where this goes? You see how quick the shit that seems insignificant becomes major? Because I promise you, Purdue's not making this fucking lab-grown chicken. Purdue's not making it. They're just processing it, or they're just getting it and packaging it. If it's being grown in a lab, it's being made by lab people, which are scientists and pharmaceuticals and stuff like that. So what do you get to do? Yeah, grown man business. Shout out grown man business. Yeah, bro, I'm on both channels, man. I'm on both channels. Yeah, man. You get to put a little extra in there. You get to put additives in it. How do you know what those additives are? You have to read the fine print in this shit, man. It may come to a point where now you can't even trust eating out because the restaurant's gonna take the cheap route. Restaurants is all about, man, hey, paying the least, making the most. So if now I don't have to buy actual chickens and I can, save, let's say 30%, or even better yet, if it's like 50%, bro, you'll never see a real chicken breast or a real piece of meat in a restaurant ever again in life. Never. Then on the outside, like I said, now from the actual natural stuff that's left, the farmland, now what? Well, if we patent we do some Monsanto type shit, and now we patent a new thing as to where you can only grow this on the farmland. You have to get your seed, or you have to get your whatever in order to grow it from us. Now what? Bro, this shit is moving a lot faster than a lot of people realize on the outside, man. I'm telling you. Well, the impossible meat is not even meat. That's just the crazy. That's the next thing. Eat the bugs. You know what I'm saying? The Soylent Green, the vegetarian thing, the vegan shit. Told y'all, man, listen, bro. A lot of these trends or these things, bro, you have to be extremely careful. Premium Network, I'm talking about the climate control, man. The military using the climate control, fam. Attempting to weaponize climate control. Evan, we already know that, man. Listen, man, them got, man, bro. I seen a motherfucking breast so big in a church's box one time. I was like, man, that's a damn turkey, nigga. This ain't no motherfucking chicken. This is a goddamn turkey. This got to be a turkey breast, man. If you are eating church's chicken, bro, it was so bad, bro. We stopped, bro. I hadn't ate church's chicken in my adult life, dog. I don't think I refused to eat it. It got so bad. It got to the point of where even my mom was like, nah, man, we ain't fuck with no churches. Church was just too crazy, man. It was ridiculous, like blatantly obvious. And then too, like I said, then you start seeing it, you really look into it. Every hood has what? Bro, you're not gonna find no church in a white neighborhood, bro. Not even in the goddamn, not even in the trailer parks. You're not gonna find no churches, nigga. You want to know when you in the hood? Look for the churches. You see that churches? Okay, yeah, we in the hood. Hey, get the pistol out, put it on the seat. And there he is, man. My man in the building, man. The resident expert of all things conspiracy.
Nah, man.
What's up with you, brother?
I'm just trying to I relate to them trying to censor you, man. But yeah, man, you saw the article that they trying to push on the weather modification. There's another one I got about they're putting I don't even know if I should say it, but the graphene stuff in the cloud seeding. It's another patent they got with that one. So yeah, I was going to share that one, man. But I didn't catch the earlier part of the show when you was talking about the Titanic. Yeah, and the Titan and all that stuff, man. Come on, man. It's so obvious what's going on now. I mean, it's a lot of subversion, distraction, truth hidden in whatever they're doing. But and the whole Jamie Foxx thing, I mean, man, look, I know like he gone, but I can't say that officially.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear conflicting reports with you got what's the girl to play with him? You got Katie Holmes, you got the other light-skinned chick that was in that movie with him. They both say they don't know, haven't heard from him. They both were either married to him, co-hosted with him or something. And then you got his daughter coming out putting conflicting information. The first time she said something that they was playing pickleball, and then come to find out he was blind and paralyzed. So, it's so much going on, man. I'm just all over the place. I'm trying to catch up, hit fast forward real quick. But when it comes to this weather modification, man, look, man, we know they've been doing things. We can look up in the sky. We can see these little trails and lines, and we see the fires and all that stuff. So it is what it is, man.
Yeah, bro. And like you said, bro, that whole thing going on, dog, in itself, especially like that, bro, this weather thing is another game changer. And I don't think people understand, like, war fighting in itself is changing a lot. War fighting is changing a lot. And being that it's changing more so from the physical to the digital and all these different things, right? Listen, everybody wants to. It wasn't me. Well, we didn't do that. Well, we didn't. You know what I'm saying? It was nature. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucking Cat 5 hurricane touchdown in the middle of motherfucking the Sahara Desert, nigga. And it's like, how? You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know. It's act of God, right? So yeah, man, it's crazy. When he goes to the whole Jamie Foxx thing, it's on the for like you said, bro. Man, who knows if he does reappear? Not the chances of like I said, and then too, right? So think about this, people. For the longest, and people have been telling you, like, hey, man, sometimes these people, may not be the people you think you see, right? We're getting all of this stuff, man, to where these celebrities are having these serious health issues and stuff, and they disappear, then they come back, and certain things are different. Their personality not the same, speech pattern, all this different stuff, and people can point out little different things and whatnot, what have you. And of course, if you say that, oh, you just conspiracy, huh? Oh,
yeah,
right?
the whole Kevin Hart, the whole David Chappelle, the whole
and like you said, man, you look at it, bro. Is like, bro, they're literally telling you this now. We knew about the whole. I think the first thing they cloned before was a lamb, right? It was a lamb or sheep.
Yeah,
Dolly.
That
in itself has esoteric meaning and so on and so forth. You really get deep into that and think about it. But you clone that, and that was like shit. Early 2000s. Yeah, it was early 2000s where they did the lamb shit, right? But so imagine now the advances and what the capability they have now versus early 2000s when it comes to scientific capabilities and all these different things and whatnot. Well, let me shout out my man Salty Balls in the building, brother. Greatly appreciate you, man. Y'all being very generous tonight. I greatly appreciate it. I don't know how or why, but I am not gonna complain. I appreciate your symbols, 2-2 gargoyles or the silent sentinels. The avenues are carved into angled pentacles. Power with more reach than tentacles. Obelisk as a symbol as giant genitals. Gradualism from the Gentiles. They keep it gentle. No bloodshed, if all mental. Okay, bars, brother. I got you. Appreciate you, brother, for the 50 ball, man. Greatly appreciate you, man. We'll go ahead and set the shots off of that, brother. Go ahead, Hope.
And also, when they make something commercial, like when they tell you about it, they probably been doing it behind the scenes a long time. Like people don't realize, like they're just telling the public because they're going to make it commercial. They're going to put it in circulation, but it's probably been used. None of this stuff is really new technology. It's just new to us. Like the internet was something that military like used before it was in your household.
Yep.
It was, and same with the cell phone, all this stuff. It was kind of used by governments and such to do things. What you call it, GPS, telemetry, all that stuff. And then once the military, got what they wanted, they say, well, let's give it to the people. And of course, we got smart technologies, surveillance and all that. But what's interesting about what you brought up with the food is with this weather is that they're manipulating climates and droughts and all of this. They can create food shortages. They can create whatever they want, basically. If they can divert rain from one area, like in Dubai, they're trying to make it so that it can rain in Dubai now. They have a whole cloud seeding program there. So when you do that, you're diverting a lot of natural weather systems for people who normally get monsoons and all that. So now you're taking you're creating an unnatural weather situation that's going to stop something natural. So the people who normally get monsoons not going to get them. They're surviving. Their survival is dependent on those monsoon rains. Go to India, go to Middle East, and all that stuff. So it's a lot going on. It's a lot of control things. They can use this to promote these fake foods. We understand they're trying to put certain things in the food. They've been putting chemicals and preservatives in the food for a long time. GMO is basically, they call it gene manipulations, but they're making the food create its own pesticide.
Yep.
So if the bugs don't want the food, what do you think it's going to do to the people who eat the food?
Exactly. Yep.
People get freaked out. Oh, the bugs are natural. The ants till the soils, the bees pollinate the flowers. There's a cycle there's a homeostasis with all these things. You disrupt one part of that cycle, you can mess up everything. And we don't know if these people what they are because they might not eat real food. Like look at how, can't really say what I want, but look at the person who's running this country, at least the figure. We don't know what he is, CGI, whatever, like I can't say what I want because obviously, but just open your eyes. Do you believe he is what he is? Who knows?
Yeah, man. And like you say, you start talking about, hey, adrenochrome and,
Mm-hmm.
people actually living off of certain things and so on and so forth. And people are starting to, they're starting to pay a lot more attention to child trafficking and stuff like that. And people don't understand, man. People think this child trafficking thing is just from, a one thing, but it's really something way bigger than that. And far more nefarious than that could ever be what people really think about it being. Yeah, man. The first time they admitted it from, I guess, like a global situation would have been, like you said, in Dubai, where they were cloud seeding for the sake of stuff to grow crops and stuff, like you said. But now, like you said, when you start talking about weaponizing weather, it's not just even stuff up in the sky. Hell, it's been a thing now to where was it here? I want to say it was not too far long ago. There was an earthquake on the East Coast. No fault line. No.
Yeah, you talking about 2011, man. I think you're talking about the big one we had in 2011. Look, I'm from the Mid-Atlantic, and so we never had an earthquake. Earthquakes happen like, you get a 1.0, a 1.5 or under, but they don't count those because those are natural things that happen everywhere. But we had a 6 point something in like the Maryland, DC, Virginia area. Let me tell you, I'm in my 40s. Ain't never nothing close to that happened ever. And you can ask my grandparents, you can ask their grandparents. Never happened. So there's at least 100+ year evidence that none of this stuff happens. But it's so weird that all of a sudden in 2011 we had this huge earthquake from not just DC, but all the way up the East Coast, all the way down to like South Carolina. The jump felt like, I don't know if you've ever been, people who've been to Cali, you felt the earthquake. This was different. This was something crazy. And then recently we had like a sonic boom happen where some airplane took off in some place, and then it created a sonic boom and shook everybody in the area. And then the military had to put out and say a plane went down or something like that. Crazy stuff happening, man.
Yeah, and it was one actually more recent than that because I want to say I was either here or Virginia. It's one of the two. And I want to say it was in the last 5 years or so, the same thing. And they say, did you felt you might have felt such and such and so and so, la la la. Well, we had the first earthquake in forever. And you're like, whoa, earthquake on the fucking East Coast, and either one of these places that has no history of earthquakes or so on and so forth. This thing. Like you said, man, listen, bro, when these things are going on, it's always a training accident, or just you didn't really see what you saw, or you didn't feel what you felt, right? To the public, until, like you said, they're comfortable enough to tell you about it, because now they're moving forward to the next step of whatever the is in the process. And that's been going on for forever, man. So again, like you said, bro, if you get to the point of where you can literally control the weather, you know what I'm saying? And people, when you think weather, people just thinking, oh, some lightning, some thunder, some rain. Oh man, we talking about weather is everything, man. I don't think earthquake would be considered weather, but God, like happenings and so on and so forth, stuff, shit like that, man.
Yeah, they talking about the HARP, in Alaska, that puts out the electrical impulses, and they say that does a lot. Heats up it sends electronic energy up high in the atmosphere, and that creates all kinds of, they call them high pressure, low pressure systems, where all of a sudden you get these huge domes of air, stable air that diverts storm tracks. So now, like if you look in the country now, Texas has been heating up all the way up to Minnesota. They have a massive heat dome going on. And then you got both coasts have been getting all this rain and have been unnaturally cool. They call it an omega block. Very unusual. It takes a lot happening. They want to talk about this year's El Nino, which is the southern oscillation current system with the water warming in the Pacific, is supposed to be the biggest ever. So you're going to hear this term, the biggest ever, the hottest ever, the coldest ever, the most extreme. And people are accepting this as, the climate narrative. But people don't ever look and say, hey, maybe these little cabals, these groups around here are engineering this stuff. Maybe, because yes, there is a natural rhythm to everything, but this is not that, like even within extremes in nature, there's a harmony going on. This is not any of that. This is something else. And then the fact that all of this exists on record, you got the CIA, you got all these groups. And look, there's a group above the NSA, CIA, and all these groups, man. And it's a group, I forgot what they call it, but it's an agency that controls all of them. Most people never heard of this agency. I just recently found out about it. And it's a lot. And it's probably agencies we don't know. Like what they tell you is just what they tell you. You think they're going to tell you everything? You got to have a top secret clearance to be privileged to certain things. So they're not going to tell you everything.
Yeah, man. Like I said, you control. That's why they say people don't understand. Knowledge is power, and information is key, man. You know what I'm saying? What you don't know, man, can and will hurt you. But you know what I'm saying? That's why they go with the whole what you don't know won't hurt you. And you can't fight back if you don't know, what the enemy is or what the plan is, or that you're even in a fight, right? So of course they're gonna keep a lot of things from the people, and then disclose it to them when they feel like whether they're forced to, and it's really never forced to be. It's just in the due time of them feeling like the public should know, because they're gonna move forward anyway, and and either the public has reached a point to where they're comfortable with it, or they just hey, have some event or something happen, and now hey, it's here, so you deal with it.
Let me tell you this, man. This year, right around the summer solstice, we had the coldest air. Yeah, that Virginia sonic boom. They say it was allegedly caused by a plane. Let me tell you, I heard it. It shook the whole area. Now, that's fantastic. You know about sonic booms, right? So,
oh yeah,
a sonic boom ain't nothing to joke about. But this felt like it was deep in the earth, more or less. It didn't. I don't understand if you're close to it, but I wasn't close. So I don't know how it could shake the earth from miles away, like, I don't know, 50 plus miles away. There's something shady about that. I understand the pressure in the air can do something, but for it to be deep, filling in the ground to shift the foundation that things are sitting in, I don't know. That sounds a little shady. Maybe you could give your expertise, because you probably hear them jumps all the time on the ship. But
well, no, yeah. So sonic boom is pretty much the aircraft or whatever breaking the sound barrier, whatever it is, breaking the sound barrier, right? So when that happens, like you said, you hear it, and it may be strong enough for it to be felt. But like I said, in order for it to be felt, it's going to have to be closer to the ground, right? And even still, then it's going to be a dissipation area as to where, if you're in the vicinity or the general area of it, it can be heard and possibly felt. But again, the whole feel thing again would say it had to be extremely close to the ground in order for it to be actually felt. Okay. And I'm telling you this as to where I've seen it done at sea, as to where not even, you know what I'm saying, where it's a little bit higher than the deck of the carrier. So I would say maybe 40, 50 feet away, or so on and so forth, higher, right, in the air. But they perform the sonic boom during the they call it like power performance show or whatever. It's pretty much like an air show they do or whatever at sea, right? So with them doing that, again, even me being that close to it and seeing it that close, like, yeah, bro, what you're describing, nah, that's not natural. That's not scientific. That's not something that's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. So like you said, who knows, bro, what they have developed. And just real quick before you go, funny you should say that now, because now what do we have in the midst of all of this stuff, right? Aliens.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So who knows what type of technology was possibly being tested, or was, you know, finally we copied and replicated it to the point of where, like you said, something like this happens and you just blame it away. Oh yeah, it was just, you know, blah, blah, blah. But then, like you said, you know, and shout out, this is what I say, right? The newer people, bro, they're so easily fooled, dog. It's like they don't even know to fight. They don't even know to ask questions about stuff. People our age, that's why I keep telling people, bro, our age group is the most important fucking age group left, because we know like common sense and like how stuff is supposed to be
context.
Before this digital shit, before everything was digital, before everything is fucking electronic, and you know, hey, you got a phone in your hand that you know all this information. You actually had to learn stuff and learn to, you know, retain information and you know, use it, and you know, all these different things, right? And actually, like, you know, be a human being. Well, like you said, when we start, that's why, you know, we're the biggest quote unquote conspiracy theorists, because we're like, hey man, that's not how that shit worked. Okay.
Right.
Even if I'm not an expert on it, you know what I'm saying? Hey, nah, fam, I've experienced this before. That shit right there was different. You know, a fucking earthquake happening in the Midwest or the East Coast. What do you mean? You feel what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
So yeah, man.
Because let me tell you, man, I was probably just about driving when the internet came out. So we know we have a historical context to understand like how life works without this stuff and how it works with it. Whether the new generation, they only know with it. They can't imagine not having a cell phone, not having internet, not having whatever they have right now. Like everything was different, you know. Yep. So they don't have that context. Just like I don't have the historical context to think about what my grandparents and great grandparents experienced. Whole different world. Horse and buggy, unpaved roads, none of this technology. Can you imagine? You had to heat your house at a campfire and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so,
actual a wood burning stove. These kids ain't never seen a wood burning stove.
Exactly. So I can give them respect and homage for having experiences that I don't have. That's why I seek to learn from them and understand, because you never know. They talking about cyber attacks, power outages, and they're deflecting this to the whole NASA thing where they're talking about, something could potentially knock out the grid. They keep warning people of things like that, but we're never going to consider, are the people telling us this are going to be responsible for doing it, and they're going to offer us a narrative that's going to hide that hidden hand that's actually moving things around. Just like when they tell you, everybody, if you remember Area 51, that thing was so secretive that it's like you had to read a book to know about it. Now they just want to, anybody gets you mean to tell me the military and the government itself are giving you photographs of this stuff? Yeah. Now all of a sudden they're giving you, before they didn't want you to know anything. Now they're the ones putting
it. Didn't exist. They know what you're talking about.
Exactly. I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah, crazy people. Yeah, crazy people on LSD or something. Yeah, like what are you talking about?
Right.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what's wild about the sonic boom? I thought one of the things about sonic booms, reason why they didn't do it is because of devastation would cause, right? So, like, was there any reports of like glass being broken or anything like that?
Well, no, that's a myth of like what's the name? That's you have to be extremely close in that, like the point of where that happens. It's not gonna, it can't set off car alarms and stuff like that. if it's strong enough again, but they're extremely low to the ground. But the whole thing about the sonic boom busting out windows and stuff, bro, nah, man, that's some movie shit.
Yeah, I agree because when it happened, I mean, even though I was kind of much farther away, for it to shake the house the way it did in that breaker window was kind of weird because I experienced the earthquake. And earthquakes, man, you got stuff jumping off the shelves, you got stuff knocking over, you can't even walk and all that stuff. But this was like, it was quick. It was like boom, like an underground explosion. I don't even want to say it, but like it was testing something underground. Put it that way. That was my immediate, like either something hit the earth or they were testing something underground. Last thing that came to mind would be a sonic boom.
Yeah, like because I've been in one earthquake, and it was weird. Like, so I didn't recognize it because I'm in the South, and it was through like that big Tennessee fault line. It was like from like reach all the way up to like I think Indiana or whatever, all the way down to like parts of Alabama or something like that. I think it like end up touching like 3 or 4 states. And the only thing I could like kind of reckon it to, it was like, you ever been around like train tracks where the train's coming and you be like close enough to where the ground like kind of shakes a little bit? It was like that, but like on 10. And then I was like, man, I was like, what the hell is going on? And then I was like, then I guess like kind of 15 seconds into it, I'm like, oh, is this an earthquake? That's pretty wild. But you hear about that pilot that jumped out midair? It was about 6 months ago, maybe. Probably less than that, maybe 4.
Huh?
Yeah, it was like a small passenger airplane. Young pilot, man. Like he's about 25, 26. And then some people did some sleuthing or whatever, and they were like checking out the tail numbers because they had a bunch of stuff like secrecy kind of thing, like to kind of do some weird stuff. The thing that kind of put me on is like they did a touch and go landing and damaged the landing gear, and then they flew like to another state, and then the dude jumped out in between states, and then on the little call or whatever, dude,
I haven't heard about that.
Dude was like super calm. He's like, yeah, we just lost a pilot. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, he jumped out. We flying. I was like, yo, that's crazy, man.
So, and to go back to what you said about the fault, Will's vlog put in there about the New Madrid fault. That's the only fault that I heard. But I will say that I heard that the fracking they're doing is disrupting and creating like little kind of unnatural earthquakes in the mid, like Oklahoma area. They're doing that fracking and they're removing and they're displacing a lot of groundwater and sediment that's causing like shifting. Now I don't know if that still can affect, slight because there's a fault off the New Madrid fault and the one that's off the Pacific Northwest are the one they keep talking about. Like if the New Madrid jump goes, they said that's going to be like a 10+ point jump. It's going to be catastrophic. Wow. Yes. They talking about that one goes, forget California. This is going to be some like continental shift type thing. And then they're talking about the one off of the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, San Andreas.
Yeah, this is another one. This is but even bigger jump than San Andreas. Look it up. It's the one off the Pacific Northwest. Okay. And it's like a something zone out there. And it's a lot of stuff. I mean, we've been getting hounded by the whole Yellowstone super volcano thing, and I don't even know how much of this is real based on a lot of things. It's just I know fear mongering is what they do. I'm not saying it's not real. I know Yellowstone's a real place. I know it really has the hot springs and all that. But the biggest volcano, active one, is in Hawaii. But they said it's not explosive, and even that one is doing unusual things that got them worried. So if you notice that all of a sudden they're worried about everything, and now the weather on top of that, people had. Like just a few weeks ago, it was unusually cold. I mean, cold. It's never been like in the 50s during the day in my area. And it was like chilly. It felt bone cold walking out in the middle of the day when every year prior to this, it's been like 90, 80s, maybe 70s after a storm. Not like this. It felt straight like November outside. So something's definitely going on. And then I don't even want to get about those fires, man. Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah. That's something that I wanted. So people were showing the soot that came over from first off they showed you know, possibly some assistance in those fires in Canada. But secondly, what they showed was when they the soot and stuff that first clouded the air and everything in New York over on the state side, when they started washing stuff away, man, it left back a residue that was like, bro, it wasn't no damn pine tar. People trying to say, oh, this is just pine tar. This just wasn't. Ain't no damn pine tar, man.
Look, I was in it. I wasn't as bad as New York and Philly, and now Chicago and Minneapolis, they got it bad. Like people in Minneapolis, Chicago, Indiana, they looking like New York. I think New York had it the worst. But it kind of got to my area. And let me tell you, it was hard to breathe. You started feeling lightheaded. You was driving. It looked so smoky at night. You just like, what's going on? Yeah, and you was expecting to come out of it, and then you realize, nah, this is everywhere. And then it has a chemical. And remember, this is when they allegedly said that 60,000 pounds of ammonium nitrate mysteriously disappeared. And now, and I think in my area, they said some more ammonium nitrate was somewhere. And this stuff, it burns orange and yellow, just like the pictures we've been seeing. So, you know how my brain works, man. I'm like, okay, I'm not saying the fires are not real. There are people in Canada who can see the fires. But you think you think fires can't be set as a smoke screen to cover up other things? And then how are these fires starting? By sap or by chemical burning or something like that? So
it could even be as much as like say they're covering up for a fact that there's a major spill or something like that. Because you know in Yellowstone that train just collapsed, that bridge collapsed in a train, and they had some chemicals on board that didn't release.
Yeah, I saw that.
And we know what happened with Ohio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, East Palestine. Yep.
Yeah, everybody stopped. And you know what's crazy? The way that story just went away. That story really just went away, man. All those chemicals that was involved in that thing, man. And like you said, bro, there's just so many things constantly going around, and you know, to support climate change and climate. They want to keep that on the front of your mind. So I keep having all these different things because, of course, the wildfires are happening because, you know, there's not enough rain and it's too hot and the trees get you dry and all these different things. But again, like I said, man, look for it, man. Just Google it or search for it on Twitter. There are pictures of a helicopter flying around the forest, and just to say it's not dumping water, I'll say that it ain't dumping no water out.
Okay? And I'll add, don't fall for this whole controlled burn narrative, because I like, keep in mind, I understand the concept of a controlled burn and what it's supposed to do, but this is not that. And they're using a lot of deflection. They're trying to get people to look the other way. But let me talk about this East Palestine thing. Do y'all know that back in last year, I think it was October, they gave everybody biometric bracelets. And just in East Palestine, Ohio, in a case of an emergency, you know, all these simulations and practices. And now they created the right catastrophe where people would have to have those bracelets measuring their body functions and vitals and all of that. And they used it once the people in that same East Palestine location were affected. So they're creating their own simulations to test out their own biometric technology. And this is the level I want people to think on about what's going on. You notice that digital ID and CBDC was not even on the books, at least to the public, until certain things popped up and they had to think about public health. They had to think about climate issues and all of that. So I want people to see that that a lot of this is, look, I don't even want to say it, but let's think manufacturing a crisis, right? To create the perfect conditions to implement technology that will remove your personal sovereignty, because people don't understand, and Mr. Fantastic and others who are in the military, you could say, you could back me up. Military martial law is different from this medical martial law. Yeah. You know, people don't understand, like, that wasn't martial law. That was, they call that medical martial law. That means that the checkpoints weren't really like it would be under true martial law. True martial law, they can take you up out of here if you.
Yeah, bro. Like instantly, like people don't understand. Like you own no property no more. Nothing. There is no more. Really, no constitution. None of this stuff is declared to the point of where shit's so bad, to the point of where you have to step in, and now the only way you're gonna get up out of it or whatever is, you know, let's just say fighting back. We'll leave it at that, right? Yep. And then that's a whole nother, you know, thing
in itself, because and that's why I say then we get into the whole gun rights and a whole bunch of different other shit and so on and so forth. So yeah, man, that's a real deeper conversation.
Or
And
which like my bad. Go ahead, spiritual.
yeah, I do want to share something real quick, that some new information that I caught. So now they have another 5th generation rollout, right? They did it every year, and y'all notice that since the 5th generation rollouts, there's always been some stuff happening. Now they have another 5th generation rollout where they said the FAA is on alert that airplanes might be having issues in the sky and all of that. So you got that out there, the frequencies, the manipulation of certain substances that people put in their bodies and what they spraying in the air, and you got all of this stuff. Keep in mind, they have U.S. patents that talk about the manipulation of the nervous system with frequencies. I put all this information in my community tab. I put it all over the place. I know I'm getting, y'all know how it is. Tinfoil Tuesdays was getting shadow banned. When you start putting information for people to think for themselves, because we're not no extremists. We're just putting information out there. You have to reason through it. You have to make sense of it. We know how this thing works. But when you're putting out the truth that exposes things, you're automatically going to just be suppressed. So they have all this stuff, and this is U.S. patents. This is not. We're not talking about some, what you call them, little parody sites or nothing like this. This is anybody who know me. I try to get the official sites, the government sources. I don't, because I know who's behind a lot of this stuff. So I want to know what they got to say about it, and then I can think for myself. But that's about to happen, I think, July 1st. So July 1st, don't be surprised if something starts to happen. We know Fed now is supposed to come out, and then they're talking about some 5th generation issue coming out on July 1st. So we ain't even got halfway through the year, and now they're talking about some other rollouts. Because what happened during the first of the pandemic thing, right? They had a lockdown. What happened during the lockdown? Overnight, these towers just popped up overnight, mysteriously, right? People started having symptoms and all kinds of issues from the frequencies that these towers get off. Now, I can't even say the word. I use 5th gen or something like that, or towers, but we know what they are. And then what happened now? The little ultraviolet lights that's popping up everywhere. They're global. Everybody's seen them, no matter where you are in the world. If you've been around somewhere, you've seen those UV lights popping up. There are U.S. patents that say that those UV lights are bioluminescents that detect certain particles that may be or may not be in certain people. So I'm just going to speak like that. This is stuff that you can test, you can track, you can reverse engineer, you can put it all together. And you want to tell me that all of these crises are creating a comprehensive look of things that are very interconnected? That's not a coincidence, and that's not the other C word that's going on.
Hey, but Hulk. Like I'm gonna tell you, like they be telling me, man. Oh, you just looking too deep into it.
No, I'm just thinking, and I'm just opening my eyes, and
that's what everybody say. And I'm gonna get to you next. 777. Appreciate you for coming on, bro. Yeah, man. And now we're starting to see that too. Be extremely aware of, again, man, 5G and radio frequencies, all those different things that's starting to come back up too. And a lot of the stuff, man, I'm telling y'all, man, don't take our word for nothing. Go look this stuff up, bro. If you go look this stuff up and you actually start doing a little research and reading on it, bro, your jaw is gonna drop, and the shit you read, bro, and the stuff you discover and you get in these rabbit holes, you're gonna be like, bro, no way. But everything is right there for you to see. Again, bro, this stuff is most of what you see and what you hear about, bro. It is not coincidental, okay, but it is contrived, okay. But shout out to my man 777. What's up with you, brother? Go ahead.
Man, what's up? I was going to say you're definitely in the algorithm. Every time I come online on my computer, you're in the first row when you're live.
Shit.
So
okay, appreciate it.
Salute to you. I saw the Titanic in here. I saw you talking about the Titan and everything. So I just wanted to pull up. I noticed somebody on a show was mentioning how the Titan or whatever took like 100,000 pictures, new pictures of the Titanic. Did anybody see that?
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, I think I heard about it.
So just real quick. So not only were they trying to they were trying to figure something out. They weren't just down there to explore. There was two people that were on there. I wish I had more facts. I just kind of came up here and hit the link without all the facts. But there was two people on there that were basically in charge of like, one was like a scientist or something like that. And they're talking about how they're billionaires and this and that. But what they were really trying to do was figure out, they were breaking the, so there was no sign. I'm up here high. I'm sorry. I shouldn't even have came up here this high.
Go for it, bro. Go for
No,
it.
but listen, hang on. Let me get my shit together. But what they were doing is saying they took all these pictures and there was no evidence of them ever hitting. I'm gonna land the plane in a minute. I'm sorry. There was no evidence of them hitting the glacier first. Second, they also there was so JP Morgan, you know about the JP Morgan.
Yeah, I covered that. I showed the video of it. Yeah.
You did do that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you know,
Yeah.
okay, so you know basically that they had insurance on this. So you did that then. You did
Yeah,
that.
they got all the people out of the way that was pretty much trying to stop the Federal Reserve or whatever getting starting in the United States of America. So yeah, I didn't cover the fire part though. The fire part did play a part in it, but I did cover the part about them using lesser materials to build a whole of the ship when it's supposed to be some totally different shit than metals. So it was a whole bunch of shit that I didn't go all the way into. But yeah, it was deliberate, bro.
Okay, so you think it was like a homegrown terrorist act then, right?
Oh yeah, most definitely, without a doubt.
That's what one of the people on the boat, or on the submarine or whatever that was. That's what one of the submarine people on the boat or on the whatever the fuck was trying to say, and that's why they really went down there. They wanted to see if it was a terrorist act, basically.
Bro, them motherfuckers, that's already been proven. And listen, those people, if they did get in the water, I don't doubt it. But bro, those people were not on that damn thing when it whatever it did imploded or whatever. Bro, no, those people were never on that fucking shit. That shit did not
They said
implode.
they were kidnapped too. I heard a story that it's a lot of conspiracies.
Listen, bro, the only conspiracy that I'm telling you is that those people were not on that thing when it destructed. Okay. Those people are somewhere probably with a brand new face by this time, definitely new identities, living a whole new life, and nobody knows who the hell they are, man. A billionaire and all these people are extremely wealthy people.
Right.
Come on, bro, stop playing with me. And literally, like I said, out of all the things that was going on, this was literally the story for what 4 straight days or 5 straight days, however long
Right.
it was. And then too, they had a thing saying as to how a certain country got in contact with another country and told them leave it alone, we got it. And they could have got there to it because again, listen, man, when you start getting on that level of money and certain things and so on and so forth, bro, you really are fucking like mob ties. Okay, so
Can I say one thing about the weather, and then I'm just let you guys rock it out.
You got it. Go
ahead. I came up way too high again. I apologize. High is a kite. So here I go. So the weather, I'm from Buffalo, New York, right? And I've dealt with snow all my life. I've seen storms, snowstorms, everything. But it's to go on this weather topic real quick. This last year in, I believe it was December, I'm high, I don't know, November, December, something like that. It was the biggest snowstorm I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, so people died in that.
50, I believe it was like 55 people died or something like that. But let me tell you, from living here, I know you guys are wherever you guys are from, but let me just say, my whole car was covered in snow. Some people will be like, oh, my whole car was covered. I'm talking about like there was 15 feet of snow.
Yeah, I got that lake effect stuff. Yeah.
No, that's the thing though. I've had lake effect my whole life. I've seen lake effect snow. I've seen crazy weather. I've seen 3-4 days of snow, but this was different. This was like people's houses were covered. How a house is like 2 stories.
Well, no, I remember it was a story about it was a girl that died literally in her car because like
a lot of people died in their car. Yeah,
it was but this black woman specifically, the story was her because like I guess she was literally like 90. She was literally in somebody's house, and had she just got out of the car, knocked on her door or something,
right?
But she literally, like you said, and there was another person who tried to go out and get something. Like I said, I didn't even know that. You telling me some information? I didn't know 55 people died. That's crazy.
Yeah, there was about 50 plus people that died. Plus, from actually being in it. I remember the first day I tried to drive in it because I'm ignorant. I was thinking, you know what? Let me go to the store. Right before the storm hits. I've never drove in something that looked like this. It looked like if you're in the desert and there's a storm you can't see in front of your face. I don't know if you guys ever been in the desert before, like a windstorm, but I couldn't see for like 10 minutes and I still drove, but I was the only person on the road. You know what I mean? But I was just driving like my high beams on, like 10 miles an hour, but I'd never seen weather and snow react like this with the wind. Like it was something out of a movie for real. That's all.
Hey man, again, like you said, a lot
Created, definitely man-made for real.
And hey, I wanted to ask you, so are you still in that area? You still up in New York?
Yeah.
area?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still
So what was the fire smoke like for you?
the fire. Oh, the fire from Canada, allegedly,
Yeah.
or whatever it was really from.
Yeah.
It was well, it made my son sick. My son is like, his immune system is great. It made my son sick, and the sky looked like it was brown. Some people said it was like an auburn color, but for me, I'm right there. I'm right at, like, I could throw a football and hit Canada.
Okay.
But, you know what I mean? But like, to me, it looked like the sky was a brownish gray color, and it was like when you're in someone's yard that's having like a fire pit, and you're hovering over the fire pit. That's how close it was in your lungs, like when you were breathing.
Damn.
It felt like you were in the fire pit in my house. I'm not even talking about outside. Outside is even worse. If you have the windows open in your house, it smelled like you were in a fire pit.
Wow, that's crazy. So did y'all have to evacuate?
Nah, there was no evacuation. They didn't even make it like a public emergency. You know, like they didn't do none of that. They just, good luck. You know what I mean? Go outside if you want.
That's crazy, man. But I'm telling you, I'm like hundreds of miles, south and east of you all, and it wasn't what you was talking about, but it was like at night,
dark, right? The sky.
Well, yeah, it was smoky, man. It was like everywhere. It was just smoky, foggy looking, just unnatural. It smelled very chemical. It was like burning your.
This is Tinfoil Tuesdays, and I'm extremely high. Just somebody tell me to stop. But watch this, fantastic. If the world is, you're gonna be like, this motherfucker's crazy. If the world is round, right? Just hear me out. I'm not one of these flat earthers, but just hear me out real quick.
I'm listening. Go ahead, brother. You got it. I'm listening.
If the world, okay, when we're children and we're growing up, we learn smoke does what? What does smoke do, gentlemen?
Rise.
Smoke rises, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not this high. So watch this. If this young man over here, spiritual logic, is hundreds and hundreds of miles away south, how did you smell the smoke? Why isn't that smoke going up and not sideways? And I'm not saying the world is flat, but it sure does seem like it. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Why is the smoke going up? Why isn't it going up? That's all. Think about it.
If it's a chemical fire,
allegedly, why are people in New York City? Why did people in New York City smell smoke? Why was there people in South Carolina talking about, wow, it smells like smoke? What's going on?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I can say this though. I don't know about the storm cells or whatever can catch it and blow it to other places. And actually, I would think that would have been the thing if you wanted to spread it out and you wanted to get a lasting effects to see just how much, whatever it may have been, right? Whatever it was, to see how far you could control it to where it just dissipated and no longer existed.
Right.
You would have it integrated into the weather shit, right? So on and so forth. So it catches a storm cell or a what do you call it? A front, like a front of air or whatever, and carries
stream.
Yeah, like something like that. So yeah, man, who knows? You know what I mean? But hey, man, hey, if that's what you believe, brother.
If you smoke, let's say I'll say cigarettes. If you smoke 1,000 cigarettes in your backyard, your neighbor will never smell that smoke.
And I got you, indeed.
Right?
Yeah.
No matter what, no matter which way the wind's blowing, he's not gonna wake up and go, "Oh, he's out there smoking a cigarette again." You know what I mean? So the smoke definitely is going sideways. It's not going up.
Well, but that creates a great point, right? So if you
I'm telling, did I just discover that the world is really flat on your show?
No, you didn't discover that the world was flat.
I'm gonna be assassinated after the show.
You just discovered that, like, again, like if there's an additive to the smoke, right, or this is created or manufactured from some other means, it
Okay.
won't add like normal smoke. And actually, like I said, what happened, because I don't know if it was in your area, but they were showing in New York as to where they were trying to wash away the soot and stuff
That's
that fell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what I mean, and you know, it had a lot of left some type of chemical trace behind. So I would just say, you know what I mean, if they whatever they had, whatever was in it from
Right.
whatever means it came,
They said
I
this
would
was from
say
the woods, though. They didn't
that's
say it was
exactly
no chemical
They
fire.
say they
what
say
exactly
they
that's
say.
what I'm saying. But clearly that couldn't have
Oh,
been the case, because they were trying to say people that were seeing it,
right.
in New York specifically, I don't know what area, but it was like, hey man, they washing, like, you know, they had the you know, public services and even firefighters or whatever coming through and washing this stuff down, and
Yeah.
it was leaving this fucking residue, and
Like
they're
a
like, bro,
film. Yeah.
like,
There was a
yeah,
film on my car.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. They said, like, bro, that ain't no damn pine tar, that's
Right.
not from trees, that's not natural, what we talk about here. So yeah, man, so like I said, if it, you know, whatever happened from, you know, the natural disaster that naturally happened, of course, right, it was just a natural fire.
Right.
Somehow something, you know, weird happened and it created a film that's unnatural, and it was left behind. But, you know, and that would therefore make it fall versus rise, because, you know, whatever natural thing happened created something that makes it heavier and falls versus rises. That's my only thing, I guess.
I hear you.
Well, we got my man pass a dollar up here, I think. What's up with your brother? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
what up, bro? How y'all doing? What's up, everybody?
You got it, fam.
So there are a couple things I want to get at. First of all, the earth is flat. You ain't crazy.
Okay.
You ain't crazy. You're not crazy, yo. It's been away for a long time. Shit like a pancake. But as far as the Titanic, they found something down there that they wasn't supposed to find. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. They found something down there. They had enough money, and they found something that they was not supposed to find, and they was not going to let them come back up. But now, as far as the military admitting the weather control, they've been doing this for a very long time. Ever since like World War II, they've been playing with the weather and cloud seeding to the point where they've gotten good enough where they have weather warfare, where different countries go to war with each other and they use weather because they don't have to re-up on. You don't have to get more ships or more bullets to fight with weather. So they started with cloud seeding, then they started fighting with weather in other ways, like droughts and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. You touched on what we said. That's the biggest thing there. That's some shit there. Like you said, ain't no ammo or artillery or even personnel needed for that. You send a motherfucking, you know, a hurricane or a tornado or extremely bad rainstorm, you know, thunderstorm, lightning storm, you know,
or hell.
something.
Imagine if you shot some hell at a bunch of people. You wouldn't need no 50 cal. Just start throwing hell at them.
Yeah, man. I don't think motherfuckers. Yeah, that hell is a motherfucker too, man. But yeah, that's that has been going on, and you know, I think we're going to start getting more information concerning it, more depth as they develop it. They develop it more, because of course they're going to use it as a means of a positive, like Hope alluded to when they talked about it being used in Dubai for crops and things like this and so on and so forth. But again, people, please understand, okay, anything is going to be innocent and just something for the people and the public to begin with. But trust and believe me, if it can be weaponized, it will be weaponized. That's why I keep telling y'all, please don't think this fucking Tesla bot and all of this robot shit is gonna be sweet. Okay, it's gonna start out first and you know, all innocent and it's the help and you know it's the, you know, all these different things, so on and so forth. But bro, I showed y'all the fucking individual piston in the legs of this Tesla bot, man, can handle 2,000 pounds easily, pull and push. Okay, and I don't think people understand the mechanics involved in something that can have equal pushing and pulling power effortlessly. They hooked up one of the fucking hydraulic pistons in the leg of that's going to be used in the fucking Tesla bot, bro, and they hooked up a fucking grand piano to it and it pulled the shit up, bro. No hiccups, nothing. Smooth as can be. Okay. So if you guys
See, now I'm
understand,
real high now. Now you got me.
But you
Now
see
I'm
our robot when he flipped it, when he wrecked his vehicle, Sonny jumped up in the water. He jumped in the water and saved him. Like swam through, man. He was, hey, I mean, I wonder how fast that they's gonna be able to run if he can lift that kind of weight. This could be a fast ass robot.
Yeah, bro, come on, dog. That's not even like the speed of it, the foot speed of it, or like miles per hour. Who knows, bro? Like I said, if you're able to generate that alone from just a mechanical standpoint, 2,000 pounds of pressure pushing and pulling. Yeah, man, I couldn't even tell you, dog. I don't. You have
What's
to get
the human? What's the human's PSI?
Huh?
What's a like? What can a human like kick, or you know what I mean? Like the way.
Well, no, you got to think. No. That's not. I don't think that wouldn't be PSI. That's actual.
Is PSI pressure in the tire? What am I talking about right now?
No, well,
Right?
PSI is different. Yeah, PSI is
Pressure per
usually
square inch.
pressure per square inch. So that's going to be like air pressure or something, or hydraulic pressure.
Oh, I'm fucked
This,
up.
this is like mechanical, so it's different. It's going to be like pounds per square inch versus PSI. You see what I'm saying? So
I thought it was for not
you
for
have pounds.
procreation. That's what I thought the robot things were when they were trying to push robots. I was like, because they don't want people to procreate. They want.
Well, no, that's another part of it. So that too. So they've upped. I'm glad. Shout out to you, bro, for bringing this up. So they've upped now to where they're pressing, implanting wombs into
Wow.
people.
I didn't know about the womb part. I just thought
they're talking about
robots.
the conversation is coming up more again, man. Listen, this artificial womb shit was never for those people, really. It is for, again, now if you're able to clone meat, right? We've already know they're able to clone or manufacture organs. So if you can manufacture all these things, you can manufacture organs. And then if you do the research, you guys know they did thing over in China to where they've spliced human DNA with, I think, pig and monkey DNA or some shit like that.
Yeah, they put like was it 2 females and 1 male? They took like 2 eggs and 1 sperm, I believe, and did that. It was weird how they did that.
Yeah, some weird shit. They're making these chimeras and shit, man. Listen, dog. If people don't understand what the fuck's going on, bro, I just don't. This again, I say it again, bro. This gender war shit is not natural. It's being forced to be done because, like you said, they do not. They need one of the biggest and the most important thing in population control is people not making fucking kids. So again, they get to the point where men and women just hate each other or can't stand each other to the point of where they don't even want to deal with each other. And then, like you said, now you get this Tesla bot and you put a motherfucking BBL and a pretty face on that motherfucker, and they give it the motherfucking, that throat and that pussy 9,000. Now it's over with. It's over.
Listen, I'll be honest right now. I'll be honest on the internet. Listen. I'm a smash one time just to see what it's like, respectfully.
A lot of people are, brother.
For scientific purposes only. You know what I mean? I gotta see what it's like.
A lot of them are, man. Listen, man, if you give a man the option to get a woman that's his perfect woman, the face he wants.
No, I didn't say marry her. Fantastic. You're talking about marrying her.
Brother, you're not gonna marry, brother. You gonna own her.
No, I wouldn't own one. I would just smash one and then
you say that, brother.
Like a quick one night stand.
But think about how much money they gonna make off that, though. I mean, we're all like, we're already making the money from the mental health aspect.
They're gonna pay for one.
And then brother. People, bro, niggas go out and buy cars they can't afford every day, B. Now we know what you don't gotta do. You don't gotta buy no car to impress no bitch. You can just buy the bitch.
Yeah.
Rather than buy a Hellcat, you can buy rather than buying a Hellcat.
It's a Tesla. You could probably drive it too, and he'll make it so you could drive it away.
Tell you, y'all listen, man.
It turned into an EV bike.
Hey, that shit. Hey, why you bullshitting? Hey, possible.
Right, that make money.
Possible. Hey, conversion kit, nigga. Real motherfucking transformers. Hey, man.
Right.
Listen. Hey.
That hasn't been done yet. That's like some whole next level. You just like, man.
Sorry to say, but listen, man, I ain't lying, man. Listen, nigga, they make them motherfucking red bone 9,000s. They made them red bone 9,000s.
What's wrong with y'all?
The black man in America.
Where my shit at? Here we go.
Yes, I'm looking for
Red bone, thick thighs, long hair, about a 34D. Oh my Lord! You're looking at 34. Then he put it on a scale. All right, wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Hey, I'm glad you did show. I'm glad you showed Pastor Jennings. I think what's going on with him is very interesting right now. Pastor Jennings and Pastor Dowell are having they beefing hard about
man,
about marriage.
Hey, telling you, man. Hey,
they beefing hard though.
I know, man. Hey, hey, brother. I'll let them figure it out with the Lord. There's them two brothers, man. I respect. Hey, man, difference in doctrine or whatever, they got it, brother. But yeah, man, shout out to Sight Bud, bro. Yeah, listen, man. Hey, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to cover that, but I definitely more and more I research that. It's something like Tinfoil Tuesdays. I'm kind of leaning more towards Pastor Jennings being right between marriage between one man, one woman, but I see what Pastor Dowell is saying about having multiple wives. I see what he's saying, but I'm leaning more towards Pastor Jennings being correct on that one.
Yeah, man. Listen, I found Pastor Dowell, I want to say within the last 2-3 months. I don't know what I saw him on, but I saw him, and then he's a big two-way guy. He's big on actually working and building things. So again, shout out to him. So I start following him within the last 2-3 months. But I've been, like I said, I knew about Pastor Jennings for quite some time. So again, I'm not gonna say I don't have a bias, but yeah, like I said, I'm leaning towards Pastor Jennings also, and just his understanding and his track record and so on and so forth. I'm more familiar with him and listen to him and have challenged the stuff he said before, and did the research to confirm it being what it is. So I'm definitely leaning towards him too. But again, man, I'm hey, that's between them and the Lord. I ain't in it. I'll let the two pastors handle it. If you feel me.
Can I ask Pastor a question? Is that how you say his name, Pastor?
Yeah, I'm not a real pastor, bro. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm. Praise the Lord, sir. Let me ask you now. You said the Titanic. I want to just jump back into Titanic real quick. You said they might have found something they shouldn't have seen, or maybe they shared, because there was like 100,000 pictures they took and like shared or something like that. What do you think, if you were just guessing? What do you think they would have saw that would have made somebody say, "Nah, let's go ahead and let's get them out of here"?
Yes, I might go far left on this one, yo. So they said that they found a new reef down there, and what I'm thinking is they found some form of life that they wanted to do research on. That the powers that be was like, "Nah, y'all can't do that."
You talking about an alien?
Alien-like creature to us. I wouldn't necessarily say alien, but alien to us. And because we don't know what those creatures down there can do. They can make their own light. They got those creatures down there can do some stuff that we just don't know how they do it. So I'm thinking they might have found something that they just didn't want them dealing with. They could have found an octopus that could read minds or something. They could have found anything down there, man.
Okay.
No, brother. Again, brother. Nah, fam. They ain't find shit. They weren't even down there. The boat, the sub went down there. They asked and go. Listen, bro. They already had a full fucking like size rendition of the Titanic or whatever. I'm saying whatever they meant to do or whatever, whether I don't know if they was behind in taxes or they had some other shit going and so on and so forth, bro. They paid their way to a whole new identity, bro.
Were they trolling like the media and like everybody with the clip that they showed of the remote control? Was that like trolling?
Nah, that's really, and that's why I knew it was bullshit. And then when I started researching this shit, man, I kept hearing everybody talk about it. Bro, the dude literally had a fucking extra long twin bed, okay, a pad,
and an Xbox,
and a fucking Xbox or a PlayStation 4 controller, bro. Come on, bro, get them out of here.
They had one of their stepsons go the same day that there was announced that they were lost. They showed one of their stepsons
like
going
posting bad bitches. Yeah, come on, man, come on. I got again, but hey, man. I greatly appreciate y'all for pulling up on me, man. This is wonderful 10-4 Tuesday, man. Hey, make sure y'all support Hope, man. Make sure y'all his links in it, and if y'all have not already
Subscribe to the brother, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to him. Check him out. Also check him out on IG.
I got rid of the IG, man. They was coming after me too much. But appreciate you having me up, man. It was a great show.
No problem, man. Always, man. Make sure you guys support that brother, man. He gives you all of the not just the tinfoil stuff, man, but a lot of the biblical knowledge and just great information overall, man. So make sure y'all support that brother.
All right, cool.
Appreciate
all right, thanks for having me up here.
Yeah, no problem. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate
you. Thanks for having me up too, man. You have a blessing, bro.
Sure, man. Appreciate everybody for coming through today, man. Hey, Tinfoil Tuesdays. That's that on that one. I catch y'all on the next one, man. Holla.